Hello, everyone. We are Blanca and Marco, and we're going to discuss an article called You Put Your Personal Stamp on It, Reflecting on Teaching Style.
Okay, hello everybody. I am going to share my screen so we can have like a guide to follow during the presentation. And give me a second, I'll be there. And well, there you go. As Marco was saying, we are going to talk about our personal stamp as English teachers, and this is our discussion group. First, we are going to start with this index. We are going to give a brief intro. Then we're going to talk about the factors that we consider influence our teaching styles. We are going to talk about personality, another title that it's on the article, and it's very interesting. That is what works best. And finally, we want to finish talking about the teaching approach, the teaching approach and established practice. Okay, so to start with a brief intro, we are going to talk about teaching styles. Okay, we can share some pictures of Marco and I. And to start with, I like the way the authors present like all these questions through the reading because it guides you to reflection all the time. And it's very interesting because you can read like the theory and then the author gives you some reflections, reflect questions, and you start like, well, it was, I hope, and I know that it was the same for Marco, that you started like reflecting and recalling some memories about when you were as a student, right? Because at the beginning, the article starts like asking you, do you remember a good teacher, a bad teacher? What memories do you have? Do you remember the name of a special teacher? What about you, Marco?
I remember so many names, but I would say that it's still in progress. For example, I would say that one teacher that I have like how can I say, like inspires me in a way is
Okay.
it would be Dr. Cristina Simani. Or
Okay.
Simani. I don't even remember how to pronounce her last name. Another
Why?
one could be Ken Richter, and well, there are so many good teachers in the VA, but
Yes,
I
I
just want
agree with you.
to go like more in the past. I had a teacher in primary school that she was, her name was Gabby, and she always like pushed me to go to develop my artistic skills, or whatever one we want to call it. So
Okay.
she was like really supportive, and I don't think I would be here without her help.
Okay. Yes, because we can remember good teachers and we can remember the way they taught us, okay, because of the, I don't know, the contact, because of the caring, or the even some words, and we can remember those teachers that, well, I don't like to call them that they were bad, but perhaps,
Mhm.
I don't know, they were teachers just by, I don't know, like, let's say like by coincidence or another
Mhm.
factors that are not precisely this vocation to be a teacher, right?
Yeah, it's
That
like
is
maybe
calling.
exactly, maybe this attitude like okay, that is not my job, that is that is not part of my job or something like that. Yeah, and as you said, I mean, personally, I don't like to say anything about a person if it is not a good thing that I have to say.
Yes,
So
because,
yeah.
okay, very good. Thank you, Marco. Also about this intro that we are discussing, this teaching style, how do you consider yourself, Marco? What do you think is
I
your teaching style?
Well, I I constantly surprise myself actually, because I'm a really shy person, but to me it's like maybe this is going to sound absurd or something, but to me, like it's like being on stage. You know, I mean, I'm a musician and I am an actor as well. And I'm a shy person, but when I am on the stage, I am a completely different person. So that happens to me when I am in the classroom. It's not the same when we were presenting with our classmates. It's a bit different because I mean you cannot. I mean you cannot let. I mean you can stop being yourself. But when you are in charge of the class, is I think it's totally different.
You cannot show
So
that shyness, right? Let's
exactly. I
say.
mean, yeah, I'm not like at this, this kind of loud. I mean, this this teacher that is always speaking loudly and always like smiling. No, no, I'm not that kind of teacher either. But I'm definitely not the shy guy that everybody knows.
Yes, because I guess also, and I agree with you that we start, okay, we have our personality, and sometimes I think the job or the profession you choose like to follow in your life, it kinds of models your personality also, because you are, well, personally talking, you go you go walking and doing and deciding different things through your life, and they are like modeling, or I don't know if I can say that way, your personality. For example, because I agree with you, I also was a very shy person. I didn't like to talk at all. I was like, no, I don't talk,
Mm,
I don't say anything, I don't want to talk, and I was not that sociable. But that has changed because I am a teacher, and it has been like great for me to open a little. As you say, I am not like telling jokes all the time, I'm not
mhm.
shouting and doing a lot of stuff, but I think I'm more open like to change this shyness for um well, not to show it too much, but to feel comfortable, like teaching, okay? Because even I change a little, like in the classroom, because we become like performers, like actors, or I don't know how to say.
Yeah.
Um, you change a little bit, but you still being the same person. You are not going too far, as you were saying. You are not going to do this um, big change. You are not going to lose yourself because only because you are in the classroom. And we are going to discuss later that part. And well, also, well, we're going to talk about these beliefs and changes that are going through our lives, and we are going to do it these well, through some questions that I'm going to that we are going to discuss later on. But also, we are going to start also talking about these factors that influence our teaching. And well, we have prepared these questions that we're going to discuss together, because we have Marco and I, we have different experiences, different context, let's say, that we have lived through our teaching, and it's going to be very interesting to see that. Okay, so we're going to start with some questions here, and we have question number one. Marco, what do you think, or which factors do you think influence your teaching style? What can you think of when I ask you this?
Well, I think definitely is the context you were mentioning. For example, I mean, because it's not the same to be teaching kids and to be teaching adults, which is I'm more experienced with adults. But even though if it is adults, there's different groups of adults, so you have to change uh, your style, your teaching style. You have to blend in a way, and and I think we need to an open mind to be able to do it, because if we are like a merit with a certain method or certain approach, I think we're kind of lost in
Okay,
that
so
sense.
yes, Marco, I agree with you, because the word flexibility, it came to my mind when I was reading the whole article, because it
Yeah,
was like throwing
that's
this
true.
information about these three teachers that were interviewed and were working with the writing, with the author, I'm sorry, to talk about their experiences, about the teaching style, and how they are, as novice teachers, they were facing all these difficulties,
Mhm.
and they were sharing all their experiences, and it was very interesting. But this word called flexibility, it came to my mind. Every single subtitle or a part of the reading, because in all the question they were the author was asking, like, what would you do if this situation happened? Would you change your beliefs? What do you think? Okay, and I think okay, I think that for example, the way I was raised, for example, my parents tend to be like more authoritarian, let's say.
Mhm.
So that's the way I started as a teacher, and it was difficult for me because that's why I was like neglecting, or I don't know how to say, así como rechazando to teach like teenagers,
Mhm.
because it was difficult for me, and I was like, oh, if this guy answers in a bad way, or it's disrespectful, I am going to like go I am going crazy, and I am going to
Yeah.
be
Yeah, yeah. Got it.
and just like imagine things like that, no? So
Mhm.
I think the way you were raised, your beliefs, also your emotions, if you don't know how to deal with your emotions at the moment, if you take it too personal, I think it's very difficult that you can handle with difficult situations or face difficult situations in the classroom.
Yeah.
So it depends on I guess, well, your personality, um, at the end, influence your teaching, right? Your teaching. And
Exactly. Yeah.
this person, let's say that this personality has these different factors, no? As I was saying,
Yeah.
the where you were raised, if you are like flexible to change your beliefs, the way you manage your emotions, and all this. And I don't know if you would like to add something, Marco, another factor.
Um, no, I think you just have you said that. I mean, the ways we were raised and the place we were raised and the people who we were
The
surrounded
context,
by. Yeah, because that all influence
your
who
personality.
we are. Yeah, exactly. Because for example, my dad was fully authoritarian, and my mother is completely different.
Okay.
So I tend to be like really flexible in that sense because I have like more the, how can I say, her character, I'm more like her. So I think, yeah,
Yes.
they definitely
Yes, and
influence you
you
as a
have this
person.
fight, with yourself, but with experience, and if you are like a little bit open, you can
Yeah.
change the things that you may consider they um, are like a good idea to change. Or like, okay, let's go to question number 2, because we don't have too much time. And
Okay.
it
Yeah.
says, is your teaching persona different from your real personality? Look, I would like to do like, or to ask you so many questions, because a lot of questions of the reading, they like they were very interesting, and I was
Yeah. Yeah.
reflecting
Actually.
in too many things, and I have a lot of notes in my reading, but I know we don't have that much time. So I like this specific question about teaching persona that the author was mentioning. And what do you think about that, Marco? Do you think is your teaching persona, your personality is different from your I'm sorry, your teaching, you as a teacher, is different from your real personality?
Yeah. As I said before, I think I completely changed, and but obviously it's like I said, it's not that I'm this kind of I mean, I'm doing some kind of jokes or all of that stuff. I think it depends obviously on the situation, on the context. Sometimes I sing, sometimes I don't dance because I don't know how to dance. I don't like that. I don't like it. But sometimes I for example, I like to play to use the role plays in the classroom. Um, yeah, I'm really shy. Sometimes I'm quite emotional. Sometimes I'm not in the mood to deal with anybody. But I mean, that's my job. So I put that sad or emotional Marco outside the classroom, and the guy that enters to the classroom is a completely different person. I don't know how can I do it, but I think I can do it.
I think, do you know what I think about that? I don't think you are a different person. I think you add something else to your personality that so you can adapt to the class, you can adapt because I don't think you change at all. Well, perhaps by the time you change some, you may change some of your beliefs as a teacher, and you
Mhm.
keep doing this like evolving thing, or being as a teacher, being a teacher. But I don't think you are like a different person because I heard something once when I was working in a Montessori school, and we read this article. I don't remember the name of the author. I'm going to look for it, but she said. Being a teacher is being yourself. And I really love that quote. I really love this quote because it's not that you stay out of the classroom and somebody different gets in. It's like if you are convinced that it's your profession, your life to be a teacher, it's you have to be yourself, and they don't have like two different personalities. Perhaps I consider, Marco, that, well, I respect what you say, but I
Yeah,
consider
yeah.
that it's not a different person. I think that you is something additional that you have developed, like another abilities that you develop, like to fulfill your role as a teacher. But I don't think you change that much because you are
Well, that's
like
interesting.
working there. I'm sorry.
No, I mean that's quite interesting
Ah,
because, well,
okay.
I mean, I agree that we all have some abilities that we don't even know we have them. So
And you
yeah,
start developing it. Yes, I
not,
guess, look, I think we don't have that much time, but it's a very interesting topic. I will
yeah.
like this topic to discuss in class because it's really big and there's a lot of things to say. But let's go to the next one. Let's move to the next
Okay.
one because it's a lot. So question number 3, is an ESL teacher only teaching another language? What do you think, Marco?
I don't really quite understand honestly the
The
question.
question.
It's a bit
I can,
tricky, I think.
well, look, what I thought about this question.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah. I'm sorry for
don't
interrupting.
worry, don't worry, don't
Yeah,
worry.
it's
Okay, you may go on.
what I understand, and correct me
Okay,
if I am wrong,
okay,
is
no,
that
no, no.
if 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 we I mean, if I consider that my only duty as a as an ESL teacher is to teach the language, or
Yes,
it can be something else to, I mean, to to that we can add something else, that we can be more professional, um, be more concerned about the learning of the students. If that is the question, I think no, it's, I mean, it's not only teaching another language; it's teaching more and more things.
yes, I agree. I guess that we as teachers, and that's something that I have learned through experience. I have like many teachers, many years, I'm sorry, teaching. And not only for the context, but I have found that it's not just teaching the content, it's just like getting close to the students, showing that you care, um, perhaps sometimes not that close because I don't know, because you may cause something harder, or you may cause another
Mhm.
difficulty there if you are get too close. But sometimes they just need to be listened. For example, in the article they mentioned about these teachers, the way if they consider it is important to approach to a student, um, when they show no interest to the class, for example. Do you think
Mhm.
it's a good idea? It's not a good idea to have like this close contact to the student when they seem not to care about the class, and that's the sense Marco, I think about this question, because if you can say, okay, I arrive to classroom, I give my class, I finish, I go.
Mm.
I don't care if everybody understood. In the reading that mentioned also, if you know all your students, well, not all your students, but if you have a like an idea of your students' learning styles, and how, for example, I was thinking about also the importance of knowing the some characteristics of the developmental stage that your students are going through. For example, if they are
Yeah.
teenagers, or they are kids, how they behave, how you are going to react.
Or even they are adults with
Mhm.
going through a different situation,
Yes, also.
or or a stage in their life. I mean,
Yes.
it definitely.
Yes, yeah, there are a lot of things that we have to take in mind. And I guess we are not only ESL, we only teach language. We teach much more things than that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I agree with you.
Very good.
Definitely.
Let's go to the last one, because I guess we have like two more minutes and we have to leave. But question number 4, what do you think about changing your belief as teacher? In what extent it may affect you as person and as a teacher? Changing beliefs. What do you think, Marco?
I think that we should be open to change, because I mean, to me, change in this sense, it means evolving. So if we are stuck just with the things that we learned in the past, it's not going to help us with the new context that come. I mean, I think that the last pandemic shows that we thought that we knew much about things, and we realized that we really, actually we don't know anything. So I think changing beliefs is a good idea. In what extent it might affect me as a person or as a teacher? Well, I think that it will be in a positive way, because I mean, I'm always eager to learn more about what I do. I mean, it could be like as a teacher or as a musician or something. So, to me, learning is always like exciting.
Yes, I agree with you. I also love learning, and that's why I continue like studying, updating, reading, and doing all these things,
Yeah,
because I enjoy learning a lot about my profession and about many other things that you say. It could be a hobby, it could be learning another ability. But I guess, like, to finish, if you agree, Marco, with this, we can finish with this like words that came to my mind, and then they are flexibility, they are
yeah.
also adaptation, and another one could be, I don't know how to say it in English, because I think it's like a tongue twister, resiliencia. That word.
Resilience,
That
resilience. Yeah,
it's. I think it's
resilience.
easier in English, but well, that word. I
I
really.
think I think so. I'm not quite sure either, but
Okay, well, we understand that we are sharing this word. So, like, to close this part, I don't know if you would like to add something, Marco.
I just want to thank you, because I mean, you have been really like this patience with me, going through the things that I'm going through right now, and you have been like really understanding. And yeah, hopefully, I mean, hopefully this this discussion group could go as we want. And that's all I want to add.
Okay, Marco,
Yeah.
thank you so much. And well, that's all for our discussion group. Thank you so much for listening. Bye. I'm going to stop sharing so I can
Yeah.
stop.